Greetings, welcome to part 2 of my tobacco grow. We've been hit by some big news. Our landlord has informed us that we need to move from this place by the end of the year to make way for another tenant. So, well, that's just part of life. You know, if you're renting a place, there's always a possibility that you'll have to move out at some point. At least we've been given quite a lot of notice, so we have 2.5 months to figure something out, find another place. So this could jeopardize my tobacco grow, but I'm not ready to pull the plug just yet on the project. So I say we carry on, we take it as far as we can go. Hopefully the new place will be bigger and better and have ample space for my baccy plants, and the grow can just continue without any real interruption. So we'll see what happens. The seedlings are still very small anyway. They need another 2 months or so to develop before they can be planted out anyway. So that gives us some room to manage something, to pull something off. So we carry on.
Come out the way, I'll have a look at the baccy. You are in my way. Go, just put you down there. So, day 8. And the baccy is looking great. It rhymes. Day 8 and the baccy is looking great. I've marked them very carefully, so I know which is which. Yes, the cat wants attention. You are a strange cat. Alright, now what I actually wanted to show you was my little squirty bottle, which is a repurposed cologne bottle that sprays a very, very, very fine mist. If we can get it going. There we go. So it's quite easy to water little seedlings without blasting them away. Like so, keep them nice and moist. It's not going to be long, and then I'm going to transplant a whole bunch of individual plants to some styrofoam cups, each plant to his own cup, and then I'll start watering them from the bottom. So they'll be on a tray like this Tupperware lid or ice cream container lid, like so, and we fill that up with a bit of water, and then the water will wick up from the bottom, and this will encourage them to grow stronger roots as the roots search for that water. And you are peeling off. Kindly stay on for a few more days. There we go. We're on day 11 now, I think. And I think now is a good time to start thinning them out. I've got some nice little forests going on here. So I'm going to thin them out, move them into individual containers before their roots get too deep. And the deeper their roots go, the harder it'll be to separate them. So I think now's a good time. Okay, I have here some of my compost. And to this, I'll add the leftover coconut peat that I have. And I'll add some, a little bit of 315, a little bit of rock dust. I've got some perlite somewhere. I'll sprinkle a little bit of that in there as well. And this is the Habano 2000 bottle I prepared a while back, which didn't work. And now I see there are some sprouts in there. And they took their sweet time. And the bottle has pretty much been standing in here, with the curtain closed with hardly any light. Anyway, I'm not going to use those plants, so I will just I'll use the peat. If any of the Habano seeds germinate, I'll be able to tell them apart from the well-established plant. I'll just pinch anything else that comes up, so that I don't get confused between the plants. Alright, I need 20 plants. That's the available space I have in my garden. I just worked it out. With spacing of 50 centimeters between plants, I have room for 20. So I've got 20 cups. I'm going to mark each one. by type. So you'll have 20 plants in their own little containers, and I'll keep a couple of spares, maybe one of each type, one or two of each type, as backup plants, just in case some of these die when they get transplanted. Trying to do this one-handed. It's important to have some drainage holes. So this little fancy metal straw thingy works quite nicely. I have one little plant in its own little container, ready to go on the windowsill. Alright, let's try that again. Make this hole a bit smaller. Just a slight depression in the middle. And let's go for one of these. We'll just let the soil crumble apart. So the roots haven't gone too deep yet. They're not very well established yet, and they haven't intertwined too much with each other. So if I grab that fella, for example, there we go, he just comes off. Plonk him down there. There we go. Some of these might fail, and as you can see, I was a bit overzealous with my sprinkling. I have plenty to spare. So there we go, another one done and dusted. Okay, all the tobacco is in individual styrofoam cups, and what I've simply done is taken some kitchen towel. My daughter is stomping around in the background. Okay, you take a bit of kitchen towel, that's normally 2-ply, and you peel the 2 plies apart until you have a single layer, and then I just drape it over the plants because they are very fragile and the sun tends to be very strong on this windowsill. Bit of a cloudy day today. But as soon as the sun has moved overhead and these are in the shade, then I will take these bits of paper off and they can have some ambient background sunshine for the rest of the day. And in the morning, I'll put them back on again and I'll repeat this for the next few days, just until the plants have settled in and they're a little bit stronger and happier. So when it comes to watering these little plants, we want the soil to be moist, but not wet. Tobacco seedlings can easily get damping off if the conditions are too wet. And that is a fungus that attacks the stalk. Basically where the surface of the soil is and the stalk. At that junction, it can attack the stalk and cause it to wither, and then the plant falls over and there's no coming back from that. So I try not to water them too much. Water sparingly, just enough to keep that soil moist. It's very hard. I know my other plants, like the peppers, are quite happy to have very soggy soil, and so I'm tempted to give the tobacco more, but I have to exercise a bit of self-control and only give them enough. Now you see these little cups are placed on ice cream tub lids at the moment. I'm going to change that and find something a little bit deeper, because I'm going to start watering them from the bottom only. So when they're in a deeper tray, I'll put like 1 centimeter of water in the bottom, and this will allow the water to wick up into the soil medium, and that in turn encourages the plants to make deeper roots. So their roots will go down deeper and further in search of the water, and the plants will end up with a much stronger root network, which is crucial when you want to plant them out.
So I highly recommend watching the Rocky Patel factory tour, and it gives you an amazing insight into the whole process from seedling to finished product from a commercial farmer perspective, a commercial cigar producer. And Rocky Patel makes very nice cigars. I love smoking cigars, and he is very passionate about the subject as well. So this video is an absolute visual treat. I mean, the tobacco leaves in there just look so fantastic. So please do yourself a favor and watch that. It'll give you a huge insight from the growing process to the harvesting, fermentation, the selection and the rolling. It's all in there. But I had a question from a friend regarding the seedlings, and how do commercial farmers look after the seedlings if they're so delicate? You know, how do they ensure that so many survive to be planted out in the fields? Because they do it by the thousands. I mean, it's acres and acres. And you'll see in the first 5 minutes of the video, and the video is in the description below, they have nurseries, purpose-built nurseries to protect these little seedlings, and they have an army of people that babysit these little plants round the clock care. Pardon me, it's getting a little windy. Okay, the wind blew my tripod over. It's a bit gusty outside, so let's just finish this up indoors quickly. So as I was saying, the little seedlings, they have purpose-built structures. They have the ideal growing conditions anyway for the plants, and they have loads and loads of staff that babysit these plants around the clock. They care for them and nurture them and babysit them until they're big enough to be planted out. So that is how the commercial farmers do it. So I think that answers that question. So thank you very much for watching. This is the end of part 2. And please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video as the plants get bigger and stronger. It's an exciting journey. I'll catch you then.